Cell phones in the main dining room, adults only cruises, the price of bingo, and Hurricane Melissa. It's once again time for what every cruiser wants. Good Saturday morning, everybody. Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to this week's episode of What Every Cruiser Wants. And we are back, and we have new cruise comments for you this week. Now, these people, they've taken their time to write in these comments because they absolutely know what needs to be changed. They know what's wrong with cruising. They've asked everybody. Everybody agrees with them. We're going to read these comments and we're going to ask ourselves, are they right? Are they wrong? Do we agree with these people? Do they actually speak for everyone out there? So let's jump into today's comments. For our first comment today, we actually have one that, well, I could 100% agree with. Somebody that, well, they had the potential to write in a real comment, a real, I guess, request or to bring something to everybody's attention that would benefit other passengers. Well, I mean, at least it started off that way. It kind of took a left turn about halfway through. But I'm sure if you've cruised any cruise line recently, you may have seen this situation where you go sit in the main dining room or in the theater, something where everybody's trying to pay attention, whether it's to what's going on around them, eat their dinner, enjoy a conversation, maybe see a show up on stage. And there's going to be that one person, there's always that one person these days that whips out the cell phone, puts the speaker on, and lets everybody in the room be part of that conversation. And yes, this is rude. And yes, this is annoying. And yes, if you wrote in a comment simply talking about that, I would say you are 100% correct. But when you start to add in some extra stuff, well, you end up on a Saturday video. I have noticed that in recent cruises that more people are talking on their cell phones out loud at dinner time. I have witnessed people have long video calls with family, friends, or just watch a video or watch a game while they wait for their meal. Perhaps it is getting more acceptable to use a speakerphone in public. This for sure is only happening on Carnival ships. Other cruise lines would never allow this. However, I with Carnival could promote a quiet, classy ambiance. A person wearing shorts at dinner won't interfere with my meal, but a loud cell phone could easily promote an ugly argument. When I commented this to other passengers, they were also bothered by this, but blamed it on passengers who cruise Carnival and the type of person they are. Please show them you are not that cruise line and ban all phones from the MDR and specialty restaurants. All right, so this comment started off strong, started off legitimate, because you know what, I can agree. Someone whipping out the cell phone in an event where you shouldn't be doing this, putting it on speakerphone, having a phone conversation, because guess what? None of the rest of us care about your damn phone conversation. Turning on a video, a show, a game, and having it on your speakerphone so everybody is forced to hear it. Yeah, that's messed up. That's rude. That's just straight entitlement that you believe that you can do that. Especially in a world where you can put an earbud in your ear and problem is solved, right? So if it had stopped there, if it had ended there, I'd be 100% behind it. But it didn't. They have to go on and say, well, for sure, this is only happening on Carnival Cruise Lines. This doesn't happen on any other cruise line out there. Every other passenger on every other cruise line is just 100% polite and follows every bit of etiquette out there. Right? I mean, come on, let's get real. Every cruise line has rude passengers on it. It's not that Carnival has every rude passenger and none of the others do. Every cruise line has a rude passenger. You could see this and probably can give me examples of this happening on every cruise line out there. So no, it's not just a person that would cruise Carnival. It's just rude, entitled people in general, which, let's be honest again, it's a trend going across the entire travel industry, well, pretty much across everything. Next up, let's talk about adults-only cruises. Now, this comes from the fact that Carnival Cruise Lines has recently had done some adults-only cruises, some casino cruises. They're popular. People like them. I get that. But if you were the type of person out there that wants to go on a cruise and not have to deal with other people's children, why would you book consistently the family friendly cruise line? Why would you book the cruise line that promotes families and children being on board when you have other options out there? But instead of doing that, you write this. Dear John, could you please give a little attention to us cruisers without children? I can't wait to read a list of adult only cruises where peace and quiet is not something just to dream of. Before I get flamed, I have 3 children. They are all grown now. Our son is in the United States Coast Guard. The other son is in the United States Marine Corps, and my daughter is a special education teacher. They loved cruising. Our last cruise all together was on the Fascination when we left from Puerto Rico. Just saying, I have done my bit. I would like for a change to cruise without having to endure other people's children. Please then give us more adults only cruises. Thank you. Now, it is very, very possible that Carnival will continue to give more adults only cruises. So that's an option. But if you don't want to go on a cruise ship and put up with other people's children, good God, stop booking the family friendly cruise ships and expecting them to change to suit you. They're about families. You don't want to be around other people's kids. Should they change or should you consider booking another cruise line? I don't know. Kind of seems like the best, obvious, easy answer is you book something else. That way you don't have to worry about other people's kids. Now we're going to have a little comment with some entitlement and honestly some straight up audacity to simply believe that because you're going to give your status level that somehow this warrants you a meeting with the captain. But are you asking for this meeting over something so important? Is it passenger safety? Is it the welfare of the crew, the ship, the passengers, any of those types of things? No, 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 no. It's not about that. They demand a meeting with the captain over bingo. I am a diamond cruiser on the Spirit Panama Canal Journeys cruise. I have heard numerous people complain that the price of bingo games is too expensive. You should lower the price or you should give away much bigger prizes or a combination of both. Does Carnival really need to make money on bingo? How about pay toilets? I have written a letter to Captain Blank and asked for an audience with him on this and the subject of how so many things we are forced to pay for that should be free. I ask you, John Heel, to make sure my request for a meeting is not ignored. Now, let's take away the fact that the captain of that ship has nothing to do with the price of bingo. The captain on board that ship has nothing to do with things that you think should be free. His job is passenger, crew, ship safety, and navigating you from point A to point B. His job is not the price of your bingo cards. But to say to yourself, well, I am a Diamond Cruise passenger. I have spoken to a bunch of people. They all agree with me. So I have written a letter to the captain saying, you need to have a meeting with me so we can discuss the price of bingo. And who here thinks that the captain will get that letter and schedule that meeting? I personally would like to think that they are passing that around on the cruise ship bridge and laughing hysterically. That's just what I think would happen. I think it should become one of those situations where it's tacked to a bulletin board inside the bridge door, and every time they come in, they get a good laugh and puts them in a great mood for the day. That way, we all have a great cruise and a good journey. But that's what I would do. I don't know what he did, but that's what I would do. And finally, we're going to have a little talk about Hurricane Melissa because no matter how many years cruises have been going on, no matter how many years of hurricane season has been going on, no matter how many times you tell people that If you book a cruise and a storm comes, your ship may have to go somewhere else. They still don't listen. No matter how many times you tell people that cruise ships aren't like your car. You pull up to a restaurant and for some reason you can't get in, it's full, it's busy. You can hop right back in your car and drive down the street to another one. That's not a big deal, but that's not how cruise ships work. If you can't dock in Ocho Rios, Jamaica, it's not like they can just say, you know what, we'll go 5 minutes down the road and we'll dock in Nassau, Bahamas. We'll go 5 minutes the other direction and we'll dock in Cozumel, Mexico. It doesn't quite work that way, but no matter how many times you say that, you still get this. I booked this cruise for my parents' 50th anniversary. There are 9 of us here on the Carnival Dream. We were notified that the itinerary has been changed. Instead of going to Ocho Rios, we are having another day at sea with no replacement port. Unbelievable Carnival couldn't find somewhere for us to go. And more unbelievable, there is no compensation will be given. The reason for this change was smooth and safe trip. Blank you, Carnival. Leads me to believe that my instincts are right, and that is just for a way for Carnival to bleed us dry in the casinos and bars, John Heald. Now, this is a recent comment, and of course, Hurricane Melissa just finished striking Jamaica just a couple of days ago. And so, naturally, for the safety of the ship, the passengers, and the crew, they said, we're not going to dock there. And then they made the decision to have another sea day. Why? Well, because there was no available port within range of the ship that had an opening that would still allow the cruise ship to get back to port on time for the next sailing. But that's not what they hear. That's not what they see. That's not what they understand. They say, it's unbelievable that you couldn't find someplace else for us to go. So answer me this. Where exactly was the ship supposed to go and still make it back to port on time? It's not like you can just add days to the cruise to make up a port. It's not like there's another port that's just a few minutes down the street. And if there was, there's still a hurricane. But they know their instincts were right. Their instincts told them that the only reason Carnival Cruise Lines does this is to get you in the casinos, get you into the bars, make you spend money, and bleed you dry. That's why Carnival does this, because Carnival has a magic machine that they put out there in the ocean, and it magically makes hurricanes, and the hurricanes come to your port, and they cancel your port stop just so they can make monies in the casinos and the bars. Diabolical, Carnival. It's just diabolical that you would be doing this to your cruise passengers. And my God, you say it's for safety. And that's going to be our video this week for what every cruiser wants. You guys let me know in the comments. Are these people right? Are these people wrong? Are they speaking for you? Do they know how you want to cruise? Now, if you've enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It is free to do so. Helps our channel grow. Let you know anytime we put out a new video. Hope everyone out there is having a really great day. And like always, we will see you out on the high seas.